Hello, my name is Pat Petrini, and this is going to be a crash course in the XanGo compensation plan. We're going to talk about how it works, we're going to talk about how it compares to other opportunities in the industry, and most importantly, what's in it for you, what's the real income potential of this compensation plan. Now, we're going to move pretty quickly, so if you miss anything, feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you need to. First off, let's take a look at the average incomes so that you can see that there's real people making real money in XanGo. As you can see here, these are the average monthly earnings at each rank in the XanGo compensation plan. Down here you have our reps and our preferred reps, which are really people that signed up as distributors but probably are just ordering products at the distributor cost, maybe sharing it with a few people here and there and making a few extra bucks. And then as you move up the compensation plan here, up the ranks, you can see these are people that are obviously working harder, building larger organizations, and making significantly more income as a result of it, all the way up to the 500K position. Now, the first part of our compensation plan is called the Power Start bonus. The purpose of the Power Start bonus is to allow brand new distributors to make money quickly, to put money in your pockets in your first few months in this business. To cover a little terminology here, when we say level, what we mean by that is that if you sign somebody up, then they're going to go on your first level typically. That if you sign up a customer or a distributor, they're going to be right underneath you on your first level. And then if they sign somebody up, that new person is going to be on your second level. If they sign somebody up, that new person is going to be on your third level, and so on and so on and so on all the way down. Now, the Power Start bonus is paid out on initial orders. So when you sign somebody up on your first level, you're going to earn a 30% commission on their first purchase of XanGo products. So if they sign up and order $200 in product, you're going to get a $60 commission. If they order $300 in product, you're going to get a $90 commission. So if you sign up 10 people in your first month, you could be earning, $500, $600, $700, maybe even $1,000 in your first month in commissions because of these Power Start bonuses. Now you can see that the Power Start bonuses add up to 45% in payout, and then we pay out 5% of all initial orders to the global bonus pools, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Now the next part of our compensation plan is called the unilevel income, or the residual income. The Power Start bonus is how you get paid on people's first order. This is how you get paid on all purchases after that. So you start out as a preferred rep, which just means that you're ordering product every month, and then anybody that's in your organization down to your first 3 levels, you're going to get paid these percentages on whatever products they purchase. And then as you move up the ranks, 1K, 5K, and 20K, all the way up to Premier, you can see that you start getting paid deeper and deeper into your organization, which creates much, much larger incomes. Now, to just illustrate this, this is what a 1K looks like. So if you start out as a preferred rep, and if this is you right here, but then if you sign up 3 other preferred reps, and you have a total volume of $1,000 in your organization, then that makes you a 1K. Now, in order to hit 5K, you just have to help these 3 people become 1Ks. That makes you a 5K. If you help these 3 distributors become a 5K, then you become a 20K. And if you help them become 20Ks, then now you're a Premier. Now you can see, of course, if we add up those percentages, it comes up to 47%. So what that means is that anytime somebody orders product in the XanGo compensation plan, 47% of the revenue of that product purchase is divided among 9 distributors, and then 3% goes into the global bonus pools. So the way the global bonus pools work is, as you've seen already, a certain percentage of all worldwide sales goes into these global pools. Now, when you hit Premier or above, you start participating in these pools on a quarterly basis. So it's kind of like profit sharing or owning stock in the company. Once you hit Premier or above and you're getting the global bonuses, not only are you being paid a percentage on your organization's volume, but you're actually getting a percentage of the entire company's worldwide growth, which, as you can imagine, becomes very significant. So let's talk a little bit about what makes XanGo different. First off, our distributors don't have a garage full of product. We don't do a lot of inventorying. We don't really do any inventorying. Most of our distributors are ordering just enough product for the personal consumption of themselves and their families. Also, we're not a binary. Binaries is a type of compensation plan, and they're usually very damaging to the field. In a binary compensation plan, you usually have a few people that make a ton of money, and then the vast majority of all the people in the compensation plan don't even make enough to cover their monthly expenses. They're actually illegal in some countries, so certainly that's not us, of course. We have no income caps. There's no cap on how much you can earn in the XanGo compensation plan. The bigger you grow your group, the more money you're going to make. And then, of course, most importantly, we pay out 50% always, and we'll elaborate on that a little bit. But we mean that for every dollar in revenue that XanGo brings in, 50% goes back to the field in commissions. So let's clarify what we mean by that. If you order a case of XanGo juice, as an example, you're actually paid on the points in your organization. But in XanGo, the points match the dollar, so we don't even really talk about that very often, that difference. But in many other companies, that's not the case. In many other companies, as like an example down here, some companies might charge $130 for a product, but they only award 100 points for that product purchase. So even though this company may say that they pay out 50%, they're paying out 50% of the points, which is actually about 38% of the revenue brought in, which means that there's a lot more money going back to the company and a lot less money going to the distributors' pockets. Here's another illustration of that. This is based on publicly available information. And these are some other companies in our industry. Some of these are companies that are very large and have been around for a long time. Some great companies on here. But as you can see, XanGo pays out more than any other company in the industry. We pay out a fixed 50%. It's a perfect partnership between the company and the field. Now let's show an illustration of depth and how our compensation plan works in depth. This is what we would call a 5x5 illustration. It means that if you sign up 5 people, and then if they each sign up 5 people, and they each sign up 5 people, and so on, this is what the numbers would look like on each level in your organization. Now obviously it never works so perfectly like this. This is just an illustration, but it does tend to grow geometrically. So the numbers tend to look something like this in a healthy, growing network marketing organization. Now many companies out there only pay on 4, 5, or 6 levels in depth, whereas XanGo pays on 9 levels in depth. Now you can see if all you got paid on was your 9th level, there's more people on your 9th level than your first 8 levels combined. And that it just makes such a big impact on the long-term profitability, the potential of building a large residual income. And then on top of that, we have something called dynamic compression, which is out of the scope of this presentation. It's a little bit complicated to explain, but dynamic compression allows us to be paid dozens and even hundreds of levels in depth. And other companies have things called like generational pay and things like that. Dynamic compression is similar to that, but it's actually quite a bit more dramatic. And it just simply means that the people that are working their XanGo businesses, there's going to be a lot more money on the table for them instead of it just going back to the company. Now there's 2 critical things to consider when you're looking at opportunities. How easy is it to build volume, and what's the customer retention rate? So let's talk about volume first off. If you've got one company that's growing at a steady pace, and then you've got another company that's taking off like a rocket, it's just going to be easier to represent that company that's taking off like a rocket. And the reason being is that for whatever reason, the marketplace, there's more demand for those products, obviously, if it's growing so quickly. And if you're representing a product, you'd probably rather represent a product where there's a lot of demand for it. So XanGo, in our 5th year of business, we had already done $1 billion in cumulative sales. That made us the fastest growing company in our industry and one of the fastest growing companies in North America. And now we're 7 years old today. We've doubled our cumulative volume since our 5th year in business, so our growth curve looks phenomenal. So what does that mean to you? It means that you're going to have an easier time building a business with our products because our products are simply in higher demand than any other products in this industry. Now let's talk about retention rate. Most companies in our industry have fairly low retention rates because even though they may have good products, you've got to have a stellar product to get people to continue to reorder every single month, especially when money is tight. And we have stellar products. We actually call them high impact products. What we mean by that is that People notice a difference when they are using our products, and they notice a difference if they stop using our products. It creates incredibly high customer loyalty, which leads to very high customer retention, which is critical if you're wanting to build a long-term residual income. And then on top of that, we pay our distributors more than any company in the industry, so we've got a higher distributor retention rate. If people are making more money, they stick around. Now, before we close, I think it's important to mention that I'm not into hype. And if you try to recruit people using unrealistic expectations and just throwing out big numbers, then you set people up for failure and they end up quitting anyway. Are there people in XanGo that have hit these levels of income? Absolutely there are. Will most people that join XanGo hit these kinds of incomes this quickly? Absolutely not. The reason is exactly the same reason why 90% of the people that show up to the gym in January with New Year's resolutions of losing weight and getting into shape have given up on their goals by March. And the same thing happens in this business. The same thing happens in any situation where people are in charge of their own success. What I'm trying to get across is that if you're somebody that has a high level of self-discipline, then we think that we've got a great opportunity for you, and we'd love to show you how to do it. So I want to thank you again for tuning into this recording. If there's anything here that has piqued your interest, I would simply encourage you to go back to the person that's sharing this with you and ask the hard questions, because we're confident that the closer you look at us, the better we look. Thanks a lot.